So Blue Lock chapter 253 is finally out. A much more subdued chapter compared to all the gas we've been feasting on since the start of this match. But in the end it looks like things will be heating up even more, and it's finally time for Isagi and the gang to mount their counterattack. Before we jump into the chapter, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as we climb our way to the world's #1 Blue Lock fanbase. Hey, what's good everyone? I'm Raito 6 and this is Blue Lock chapter 253. Following Shido's bullet of a diving header, we see him and Charles celebrating together, acting like they'd never licked up before. In a panel that's very much reminiscent of Isagi and Hiyori's celebration when they clashed their vision in the previous game. Copycats. This goal followed the same convention, with both Shido and Charles merely clashing their best performances, confirming what I actually said in the last review, that Charles made that pass blindly, putting the ball where he envisioned was the most dangerous spot, and Shido similarly made a blind run instinctively to that very spot. And speaking of reflexively, did you guys see that goal that Erling Haaland scored in the 6-2 thrashing of Luton Town? Just watch when he lays it off. He doesn't even look, he just keeps running, knowing that De Bruyne is going to find him no matter what. And that's wild, because that's exactly how these reflexive goals play out in Blue Lock. And really it's something that only top tier players can actually recreate, because you have to trust that both players have the same exact vision at that time. Honestly, that's top class. Now the big question is whether they can recreate that again, and if I'm being honest, I actually don't think they can unless they both hit flow again. Loki is also getting excited, since it seems like this is the first time Charles has had a real chemical reaction, and he believes that with this development, it won't be long before he surpasses Noah. Raito protests to VAR, shouting Rin grabbed Isagi, and personally I would agree, but as Isagi rightly deduces, the goal stands as it looks like Isagi fouled Rin first by pulling his shirt, but Rin still managed to get the shot off, and so advantage has been played. Isagi tries to figure out the mechanism behind the goal, but bro, what's there to figure out really? It's just the same as their reflexive play before, but still the pass itself was ridiculous. I don't think we've seen anything as high level as this from either Hiyori, Sai or Rayo. Now does this mean that Charles is better than Sai? Obviously not, and some of you frauds are really trying it, but I ain't having it mate. Sai has too much in his locker to even be compared. We need to see more from Charles before we can even put them in the same convo. It seems that the key to scoring this game is going to have to be surpassing that chemical reaction, which is a tall order. Just like Hiyori says, if that's the standard, then they're going to have hell on their hands. And so discussing together, Hiyori and Isagi deduce that the key to the match is hunger. And with that, they need to formulate an achievable challenge and then fully immerse into that challenge, which should be the key to unlocking flow and form a chemical reaction. Basically, the accumulation of everything they've learned so far. But this means that they need to create the perfect scenario to play at their absolute peak performance. Easier said than done. After all this, it seems to make this work, they don't only just need one winning vision, but they need to cross winning visions together. Basically recreating their last goal, and that's precisely what Noah tells them. Recreate it, but not only that, surpass it. Woo! I'm getting pumped because it seems like this game we're gonna see nothing but banger after banger. Hiyori is also getting pumped up, but Isagi knows that unless they keep Shido and Charles at bay, they'll only get more uncontrollable. And this is his assignment. Finally, we get to see the much anticipated Shido versus Kunigami matchup as Noah instructs him. Man mark pink hair over there. Restrict and steal Shido Ryuse's freedom. And Kunigami's response? Yes sir! Okay, maybe not quite that enthusiastic. But nonetheless, we end up getting this super cool final panel where we see Isagi, Kunigami and Hiyori all pumped and ready to go wild. As Isagi says, counting on you Cyborg, who responds with piss off, as Hiyori says, an eye for an eye. It's finally time to counterattack. A very wordy chapter this week, but nonetheless it's really got me thinking. I know this next goal is going to be something incredible. Right now my eyes are on Isagi scoring, but it could easily be Kunigami. Although personally I think it's more likely for Kunigami to score the second goal whilst dunking on Shido. Speaking of which, it looks like Shido's time in this match is over now. He scored his goal and is about to be marked out of the game by Noah's clone. Also, I love how pumped Hiyori's getting, as for me, he's the most technically gifted player on the team, and the one most capable of unlocking Isagi. Those two together are sure to light it up differently. Surprisingly, we don't see anything from Kaiser or Ness this chapter, but even more surprisingly for me, we don't see any reaction from the bench. I'm sure some of those players are burning to come on and join in this crazy match. And finally, Rin. Seeing Shido score, I'm positive that he doesn't plan on sitting back and taking it quietly. I need to see what solution Isagi comes up with to get around him. I was hoping that Noah would make some changes after that goal, but it seems he's still sleeping. The next chapter title is My Model, the World's Model, and the first thing that comes to mind for me is Noah being Isagi's model and maybe even Kunigami's model, which means that this could be a Kunigami-centric chapter, and he really needs it, because the past game and the beginning of this one, he really hasn't done anything. Seeing how this game is developing, I've got a really hot take here. I actually think that Isagi may end this match with a hat-trick. We've seen Barou and Rin both bag one in the NEL, and my theory is that Nagi is also gonna get one in his march against Barcha, leaving only Isagi and Shido out of top 5 to get one. And I think that Isagi will be the one to do it. Wild take, I know, but I'll leave you with that for now, and maybe I'll explain more in another video. For now, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, God bless.